I have a podcast, you know that, right?
Okay.
It's called Inspiring Interviews. And it's on Seattle Spiritual Foundation on my YouTube. So I'm Michelle, and I want to introduce to you my lovely neighbor. Not only is he a very educated therapist and really grounded in his recovery, he's a beautiful, beautiful entrepreneur with exciting new ideas about how he wants to reach people who are suffering out there from addiction in a multitude of ways these days, with actually not a lot of resources, because there's more people who are out there than people available to really give help in a very, I would say, diverse way. You know, he's very multi-dimensional in the way that he meets people where they're at. So that's really one of the ways that you really impressed me. But it's also just like the language you and I speak, I find is very similar. And it definitely speaks to my heart, because you're very heart-centered. And your mission is very soul-centered. So can you share a little bit about what your idea, the framework for your new business now, this new phase, this new chapter in your life, this new idea that you want to share?
Sure. Well, thanks for having me on your podcast.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. You know, the idea came from, you know, quite like over a year and a half right now of myself, my own recovery. And so, you know, with it, I had to navigate figuring out what's going to be my path. I was scared as hell to even consider telling family that I had a problem, let alone like going into a rehab, you know, and then figuring out like, well, like, why would insurance even take this? Like, is my job gonna find out? Like, are they gonna fire me? What's all gonna happen with this? And so, you know, fast forward a year and a half later, and yesterday, in the past 2 days, I got to really be of service and help a fellow in our program who happened to relapse and came into an AA meeting of ours, or a 12-step meeting of ours, and you know, right away I could tell something wasn't right, and within 5-10 minutes this person left the meeting, and I didn't see anyone follow, so I just had to go and kind of see what was up and go and help this person. And with that, you know, there was understanding that this person who tried really hard and did great in the program, just like a lot of people, had a reason, and there was a relapse. And so, you know, had to, you know, go and I wanted to just help him. I just wanted to make sure he was safe. We even learned, you know, recently about other people in the program who weren't so lucky, you know, who lost their life because they weren't able to get the help. So this just drove me from my heart, my soul, like you were saying, to really, you know, help this individual. And this person, you know, didn't have a job. They had insurance from the state. And I was just like, okay, well, let's get on the phone. Let's figure it out. And so here in California, we had to work through the care services line and then look at like, okay, well, what type of rehabs or detox centers take this person's, you know, Medi-Cal insurance, and, you know, what are the options? What's available for this person? And, you know, they're 3 sheets to the wind. They don't know what's going on, but I'm like, I got you, don't worry. And so with it, we just found the best plan, which was eventually, you know, getting this person into detox and then having that person then figure out, is their best course to go for 30 days of programming in a rehab or recovery center, or to potentially look at a sober living, as beautiful as it is here in Seattle.
Oh my gosh, yeah, thank you for making one of those calls to me to ask, like, okay, Michelle, like, you know, where do we go from this? What do we do? Like, this is a situation, and I think, you know, there are no stupid questions. You know, Einstein said, you know, I'm not smart, I'm curious. So the more questions people can ask you, the more you're gonna learn and remember. Therefore, you equipped to be able to serve someone and meet their needs and meet them where they're at. And there's so many various, and that is a complicated case, because, you know, when you deal with somebody who has no finance, no family support, and she's in a very complex situation. Not a lot of people have the kind of compassion, time, and energy, and really patience it takes to help someone get to that next step, the next step. And then, you know, the needs and the stuff that comes up that, you know, you're like, you have to really be patient. You really have to remember, oh wow, what was I like when I was like that, you know?
Yeah.
It's compassion. It's really, really called to get deep spiritual, you know, connecting to your compassionate love.
Yeah, no, and I definitely felt that when I got to contact you about it. I contacted one of my other spiritual advisors, I call him, even thinking like, okay, well, we can get him into a private pay for one night of detox because we need one night of safety, and then he can hopefully go into full detox at a place that takes his insurance. And I was reminded, you can't do all of that. You can't put yourself in a position to have this person hold resentment, or you even, like, I might hold resentment that, hey, I paid this money out of my own pocket to take care of you. So what other options? So I had to call around, called my friends, and yeah, so when when, like you said, after all the patient, it was a little exhausting, but it was so worth it in the end to know that this person is safe, they're in this secure, getting the help they need and getting continued, support from even myself. Like, what are the next steps? How is the talks going with the case manager there? So just all of that, exhausting as it was, once we were done and driving away with my friend and roommate, and my path brought me into living with two other sober roommates that all have different journeys. Made me think like, oh my God, like it would be so cool to be able to do this, to help reach out to people, start with a conversation. Like I've heard of people like, oh, I was intervened on, or we need to get an intervention on this person, and no one does well when they're forced to change. But what is like a lot better is a low pressure conversation. Luckily this person, he was very willing, and he's like, I know I have a problem, I know I want help. And they've been through the process before, so they knew kind of what to expect. But there's a lot of people that don't. They have no idea. I had no idea. So I can only imagine that someone could come to me, have a conversation, and be like, okay, well, like, how much do you drink and drug? And I'd be like, there's no judgment here, because guess what? I've been there. Like, been there, done that. And so
there's the empathy and understanding, and you're so willing. So if you or your loved one is suffering and you are exploring new ideas of hope, know that Zach here is available, and he's a phone call away, and he's forming a nonprofit so that people can just donate, and then he can therefore help people that may not have the finance or the insurance at this time to get the help they actually need. Because not everything is free, and the free ones all are full. So there's waiting lists, and then what do we do in the meantime? So there's a lot of other resources, but again, those do cost and can be financed through nonprofits like mine and or the one he's going to put together. Thank God, more of these the better. So you can look at this video. Will be on Seattle Spiritual Foundation YouTube. Inspiring Interviews 4001, and you can pass it on to your friend or your loved one, somebody who's maybe thinking about, maybe they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? And then Zach and his team of friends are there, and they're willing, and they're just kind, and they can meet people where they're at. And we live in the Coachella Valley, which is very diverse, and we have gay, straight, trans. The particular person who's talking about is trans, and not everybody has the capacity to speak to and connect to and have the compassion and the patience to work with that, and I know a lot of places won't even take them. So I know I have got to in the past, and it worked out nice because we don't discriminate. But that's a really cool thing about and you have an interesting story as it relates to that. Because he was discriminated against.
Oh yeah.
In Texas, good old Texas, but hey, thank God you're here, where that's not happening. And everybody deserves a chance to get sober, and everybody deserves a chance to live a full and healthy and vibrant life. Because that is exactly what sobriety breeds, is a full, vibrant life. That it all starts with that first step. So again, if you're looking for help, you can call him. What's your number?
703-505-4105.
There you go. And obviously he'll be there, and we will work it out. There's just a lot of steps, and sometimes when family can't help family, so don't try to help your own family. Just get somebody who can do it and help you through it, and that would be Zach at this time. And what's going to be the name of your company?
We're thinking about the Desert Recovery Specialists.
There you go, bam. So anyway, the more resources, the better. From my heart to yours, as Dave would always say. Have an amazing day. Namaste, the good in me. As always, sees the good in you. Stay blessed.